Each year in the United States, thousands of major crimes go unsolved. When the case has gone cold and police have nowhere to turn, they seek assistance from the public. This is a program dedicated to solving these cases. This is Crime Stoppers Case Files.
Welcome to Crime Stoppers Miami. I'm Dick Maston, the director of Miami-Dade Crime Stoppers. The purpose of this program is to share unsolved cases with as many South Florida viewers as possible, empowering you to do something about the violence on our streets. Every case we feature is unsolved. Every case we feature has a cash reward available. In other words, every case we feature is an opportunity for you to help your city and at the same time earn Crime Stoppers cash without even giving your name. Let's get started. At 11 p.m. on May 15, 2009, 19-year-old Keanthony Evans was riding his bicycle near 240 Northwest 21st Street in Miami when he was ambushed by two armed males.
Miami Police, do you have an emergency?
Yes, I'm calling from Northwest 22nd Street and 3rd Avenue. We just heard a lot of gunshots. I don't know what's going on, but it was a lot of gunshots.
They're shooting around here. Please, send somebody around here. I can't take this anymore.
Are you inside or outside?
No, I'm inside, ma'am. I'm inside my house.
We're there. I can't take this, ma'am. I can't take this. They said somebody just got shot in the building, ma'am.
Okay, we have police and rescue en route, okay, ma'am?
On May 15, 2009, at approximately 11 p.m., Keanthony Evans was ambushed and killed in front of 240 Northwest 21st Street. Mr. Evans was returning to his girlfriend's house, who lives on 22nd Street. He was in the process of fixing his bike. He had just gotten it fixed. He was riding it back on Miami Avenue, going northbound. When he entered Northwest 22nd Street, apparently something caught his attention. Somebody called him over.
Check it out.
There were a couple of vehicles there waiting for him. The encounter was friendly enough that he looked into the vehicle. Whoever was inside the car shot him in the face, point blank, with a .40 caliber. They shot him in the mouth area. He immediately dropped his bike, ran towards Northwest 2nd Avenue, south to 21st Street, and then west again. Two vehicles followed him. He ended up in a building which is 240 Northwest 21st Street. It's a horseshoe-shaped building with only one entrance and one exit. It's surrounded by a approximately 7 to 8 foot high security wrought iron fence. Mr. Evans attempted to exit through the back. Unfortunately for Mr. Evans, when he tried the back gates, they were both locked. He, in vain, attempted to enter some of the apartments. Nobody allowed him. He tried several doors, he couldn't get in. The last door that he tried, he actually got a hold of the doorknob before the resident was able to lock the door. And they struggled for the door, back and forth. Please let me in, please let me in. At that same time, the two suspects who had followed exited their vehicles and began shooting the victim with 2 to 3 assault rifles. Both suspects opened fire through the gate. He immediately went down. They tore him up. He had about 30 holes. One of them entered the atrium and finished Mr. Evans off with his .40 caliber. Pretty much emptied the entire clip on him. They both exited the atrium, entered the vehicle, and then fled westbound on 21st Street.
He had a fight with a friend guy or whoever, I don't know, and I guess he beats the person up, and then they said they was gonna kill him. He told me, "Mom, don't worry, I'm gonna be all right." And about 10:15, I get a call from my cousin, and she said, "You need to get on 21st Street. They say they just killed Wolf." And I say, "No, don't tell me that." And I threw the phone, and I was just in a state of shock. I couldn't move.
And then when we got there, we didn't know where he was. We just saw the ambulance, so we just started running. And they were like, "No, you can't go, they can't go." And I was like, "I just want to see him. I just want to see him." And then I was hallucinating, like I couldn't take it. I guess I fell out because I woke up in the ambulance.
Yeah, I just wanted to hold my kids, that's all. I just wanted to hold my other 3 kids, because I don't think my son deserved the way he got killed. And I don't wish this on nobody, other family, to have to lose and bury their child.
We know that Overtown at that specific time is very busy. I know for a fact that there were a lot of people outside when the incident occurred. So the second he ran into the atrium, everyone scattered. Everyone recognized him and they knew that he was being followed, and they saw the people following him. What I need is for those people to call me and give me that information. What we're looking for are 2 black males, one short, heavy beard, the other is taller, also with a beard, and both wore Scullys. The type of vehicles, we believe the first one to be a newer model Ford Edge, silver in color. The second vehicle was a smaller, dark colored vehicle, unknown type or model. What I'm asking is for anyone with information to please call my office at 305-603-6350. Ask for Detective T.C. Sapero or my partner, Detective Frankie Sanchez. Or call Miami-Dade Crime Stoppers at 305-471-TIPS. Don't be afraid and give us as much information as possible.
We all miss him, and they just don't know what they did to me. They took a piece of my heart when they took my son away from me. If anybody out there know any information on this crime of Keanthony, please say something. You won't want to feel the pain I feel. I show the best outside, but I am really hurting. Please come forward to say something.
In the case of Keanthony Evans, police are looking for 2 black males. One was taller, one short. Both had beards and stocky builds. They were wearing Scullys and probably lived near the area of 240 Northwest 21st Street. If you have any information on this case, call Miami-Dade Crime Stoppers at 305-471-TIPS. Coming up, you'll learn about the May 2010 murder of 20-year-old Rashad Charles, all when we return on Crime Stoppers Miami.
Crime Stoppers is an international organization dedicated to bringing resolution to unsolved crimes. Members of the public work with police to make the world a safer place. Since 1975, thousands of Crime Stoppers organizations worldwide have helped make over 1 million arrests. Crime Stoppers acts as your advocate, keeping you anonymous and ensuring that your information gets to the right law enforcement agency. To leave a tip, log on to www.crimestoppersone.com.
On May 21st, 2010, at 6 o'clock in the evening, 20-year-old Rashad Charles was shot and killed while playing dice on Northwest 187th Terrace in Miami Gardens. Here's the story.
Well, Rashad was my first. Rashad was basically like the father figure in the house. It was just me, him, and my youngest son. We struggled a lot to get where we were at. Every summer, I would have him actually work through our little summer programs so he can learn independency. My youngest son looked up him as a father figure. So he basically was our rock to hold our family together. You know, no matter what, if it's a dispute, you know, he's like, get over it, you know, make up, let's move on.
He was a good kid. He was a good kid in school. He went to school, he finished school, very respectable. They all grew up in my mom's house, so they was like old-fashioned raised because my mom is old-fashioned.
Rashad was the type of person that if it was a gloomy moment, he'll just make the whole room just laugh. He's a very outgoing individual. He liked to play sports.
Him and my son, they used to compete in football constantly. Football was his life, that was his world. Those were things that he chose to do.
He also had a lot of dreams of what he wanted to do for the future. He wanted to be an NFL player, he would tell you. Then he changed from being an NFL player and say he was going to be this rapper. Then it changed from being a rapper, he wanted to be a manager over a company and, you know, so on. And then he wanted to open up a company with me. And we're actually in the process of trying to open up a business that he can actually run. Rashad was a go-getter. He would never give up, no matter what a person tried to tell him that he could or could not do. I would stay in his ear and tell him, don't listen to what people have to say, and that it's never too late. He had a lot of individuals that really looked up to him. Rashad had that leadership mentality, and he was a giver. Sometimes you don't even know the things that he would do because people be like, you know, he came by my house today just to say he was just checking up on you. And I was like, what? I can't believe that, you know. He always loved to go and spend time with my mom.
In all, he was a good boy, and people even on my job that I didn't know that even knew him, adults, older people, always said how he respected them when they came to his house and how they loved him and how he always leave everybody with a smile, no matter what.
Miami-Dade County Police and Fire, what's the address of the emergency?
Hi, I need a police officer in the ambulance.
Did you see what happened, ma'am?
No, I was in the house. I heard gunshots. There's a guy on the ground shot in the head. Nobody could do
Okay, and then what is going on right now, ma'am?
The neighbors outside, the lady just crying, saying somebody's son dead, another kid shot.
Okay, she needs to calm down, okay? There's kids there and they're already on the way.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Bye.
On Friday, May 21st, 2010, Rashad Charles was gunned down in front of an abandoned house which was located at 3340 Northwest 187 Terrace. It is our understanding that Mr. Charles was actually playing dice at a previous location just east of where he was found dead. Throughout the course of the investigation, it was understood that during the initial dice game, it was decided among the participants that were playing dice to change the location to 3340 Northwest 187 Terrace. Apparently, most of the same individuals or participants that were playing the dice game ended up going to the abandoned house at the second location where Rashad was killed. The investigation also revealed that Mr. Charles was in fact playing dice on the front porch of the abandoned property with several individuals that were either participating in the game or watching the game. Mr. Charles was observed with a black cast on his right leg. At that point, an older model white car was seen driving from the east to the west. The passenger of that vehicle got out with a 9mm semi-automatic firearm. The subject had actually walked up to him while he was playing dice on the front porch of the abandoned property. There was allegedly words exchanged between Mr. Charles and the suspect. The suspect had discharged 2 rounds which struck Mr. Charles once in the leg, once in the torso. The crowd and the participants of the game had dispersed in all directions in manners such as climbing fences, running down the street. It appeared that he had apparently tried to crawl away. Mr. Charles was then executed with 1 additional shot to the head. Mr. Charles had his cellular telephone on him and should have also had his wallet on him at the time of the murder. Those items were not recovered at the scene. The subject was seen running westbound on Northwest 187th Street after the older model white vehicle.
The way we found out was horrible. It was brought to us through social network. And when I got that phone call, I was like, no, that's not my son. I know it's not my son. They didn't just kill Rashad. They killed my heart, because that was my heart.
Whoever it was that killed my grandson, just like they were man enough to kill him, they should be man enough to turn themselves in, because sooner or later, the law will get him. And I would like to say to all the young black boys, stop killing each other. Try to learn to do something else except taking each other's lives away, because it's killing the parents.
We'll be right back with the case of Rashad Charles when we return on Crime Stoppers Miami.
On Friday, May 21st, 2010, at approximately 5:30 p.m., Mr. Rashad Charles was shot to death while he was playing a dice game, which was located in front of an abandoned property. We're currently standing out in front of 3340 Northwest 187 Terrace. This is the scene where Rashad Charles was killed. Rashad and his participants were involved in a dice game in front of the house, which was actually on this concrete slab. And during the course of the dice game, that's where Rashad's assailant actually came from the street with the white car that actually went from east to west, got out of the passenger side of the vehicle, and came up through the front yard, and that's where Rashad was shot 3 times. The last shot was a fatal shot to the head. The suspect description was a tall black male who was wearing a white t-shirt and dark colored pants with possibly a lowboy haircut or a dark colored scully on his head. Was seen approaching Mr. Charles at the time of the shooting, and then was seen running westbound on Northwest 187th Street after the older model white vehicle.
It would mean a whole lot, because I would just want to know why. I mean, he was helpless, so I don't even understand why they had to do it. He wasn't a threat.
It wasn't right. And then he had on a cast that it wasn't right for them to murder him like that.
Everybody can tell you you'll get through it, it'll be done and over. That part of your life is never over, because as long as you live, that memory lives within you. Because he's not here, we can't talk to him, we can't laugh with him, we can't play with him, we can't tease him. There's nothing that we can do with him now, but share our love and our memories with him at a gravesite.
We want them to pay. I do. I know you don't supposed to say that, but I want them to pay. You know, I don't want no 2 years and 15 years and they free. No, they killed my nephew who couldn't come back. They need to pay, and that's how my whole family feel about this.
Unfortunately, at this point, nobody wants to cooperate with this investigation, and that's why it is so important. There were so many people out here at the time that this incident had occurred that several people saw what had happened, and I'm pleading for the family's behalf for somebody to come forward and please contact myself or Crime Stoppers at 305-471-TIPS. I can also be personally contacted at my direct line, which is 305-474-1566. My name is Detective Dave Noble with Miami Gardens Homicide, or my partner, Detective Joseph Zellner with Miami Gardens Homicide.
If you loved him like we did, if you was a true friend to him, you would come forward and say what it is that you have to say and say what it is that you know, so we can have closures within our heart about this situation.
In the case of Rashad Charles, police are looking for a tall black male wearing dark pants and a short-sleeved white t-shirt. They believe he may have been in an older model white car. If you have any information that could help detectives, call Miami-Dade Crime Stoppers, 305-471-TIPS. Welcome back to Crime Stoppers, South Florida Case Files. I'm Dick Maston. It's been proven that programs such as ours solve crimes after several airings of a case. With that in mind, we'd like to quickly review a few cases that we've featured on past episodes. On October the 18th, 2009, 58-year-old Antonio Tovar was ambushed and shot as he left a family member's home. He was well known for his solid gold necklace, said to be valued in the tens of thousands of dollars. The thieves wanted that necklace. Here's the story.
On October 19th, 2009, officers were dispatched to an area within Mango Hill, development in Hialeah. Officers arrived to find a male who had sustained gunshots throughout the body. We soon discovered the male had been a victim of a botched robbery. Our victim, Antonio Tovar, was here visiting family from New Jersey. At about 9:30 at night, that visit ceased. Our victim exited the house and proceeded to say goodbye to family members. Little did he know there were 2 to 3 males waiting for him outside to ambush him. As he walked to the car, those males approached and tried to take the gold chain he was wearing. A struggle ensued. The family member within the car exited the car to assist our victim. Inadvertently, he left the car in reverse, causing the car to drive away unattended. At this time, one of the offenders produced a handgun and shot our victim. After the shooting, our subjects ran past the relative that was inside the house at one point. That person had the mindset to grab one of the offenders by the shirt. That offender turned around and blindly cranked a shot, hit by the projectile, but luckily it was just a flesh wound. Our subjects ran through the grassy field located just north of our location and disappeared. The family member who was driving tried to stop the car to no avail and returned to find the victim dying on the floor. After our exhaustive investigation, we still don't know who these defenders are. We know there are 2 to 3 black males wearing dark clothing, obviously armed with a firearm. The medallion and chain taken in this case were unique. The medallion was considerable in size, the chain was thick. The medallion had a religious figure on it. Someone, we feel, has seen it. Either it's been taken somewhere to get melted or shown to somebody else. Anyone with information can contact the Hialeah Police Department at 305-687-2525, or you can call Crime Stoppers at 305-471-TIPS and remain anonymous.
Crime Stoppers of Miami-Dade has one goal: to make the streets safer for law-abiding citizens by solving cases and capturing criminals. To learn more about your local Crime Stoppers, become a fan on Facebook or log on to crimestoppersmiami.com. Now, I'm Dick Maston. Be sure to join us next week for another episode of Crime Stoppers Case Files.